It is 2 a.m. and you are staring at the ceiling. Your heart is racing, your chest feels incredibly tight, and for some completely inexplicable reason, your brain has decided to obsessively analyze a minor mistake you made 3 years ago. You feel entirely awake and paralyzed by a sudden wave of intense panic. Most people believe this late-night anxiety is a sign of a broken mind, personal glitch, or simply an inability to handle modern stress. Truth is far more fascinating. That terrifying, paralyzing feeling in your stomach is not a modern weakness. It is a brilliantly designed piece of ancient evolutionary technology working perfectly inside your brain. Chapter 1. The Evolutionary Night Watch. To understand why you panic in the middle of the night, we have traveled back in time. For millions of years, our brains developed highly spontaneous to keep us safe in groups, because historically, survival meant being accepted by others. Our ancestors lived in small, tight-knit tribes. In that brutal environment, being rejected by your peers was a literal death sentence. Without a tribe, you had absolutely no protection, no shared food, and zero chance survival. Your brain still carries this ancient primal wisdom. That weird sinking feeling in your stomach when you panic about social interaction is simply your ancestors' survival instinct still trying to protect you today. Social anxiety is your brain's way of desperately signaling that a situation matters to your survival. Everyone you have ever met experienced this. It is completely universal. Once you truly understand that this nighttime anxiety is a normal, beneficial, evolutionary alarm, it loses its paralyzing power and transforms from an enemy into an ally. Chapter 2. The Night Shift and Rumination. Quicksand. But why does this alarm always seem to ring at 2 a.m.? The sources reveal that your brain is actually a walking supercomputer, consists of 6% fat, weighs about 3 pounds, and burns 20% of your daily calories just by thinking. Because it works so hard, it requires heavy nightly maintenance. While you sleep, your brain runs a full cleaning. Scientists discovered that your brain physically shrinks during deep sleep, create more space, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to wash through the tissue and clear out metabolic waste. It acts like a dishwasher for your thought, which is exactly why you think more clearly after a good night's sleep. However, when your ancient survival alarm is falsely tripped, it interrupts this crucial night shift. Instead of sleeping, your brain falls into the mental sand known as rumination. Have you ever laid awake 3 a.m. remembering that time in 2012 when you accidentally called your teacher mom and decided to analyze it in excruciating detail for 2 hours instead of rest? That is rumination. The repetitive thinking about past negative events or emotions. It is a vicious, exhausting cycle that offers absolutely no practical solution. When you are trapped in that 2 a.m. panic, the emotion feels permanent and overwhelming. But human biology tells a completely different story. The sources state a mind-blowing neuroscientific fact. No physiological response to an emotion lasts longer than 90 seconds unless you actively feed it. When your anxiety is triggered in the dark, your body releases a massive flood of chemicals. These chemicals rush through your system and are completely cleared out in just a minute and a half. The only reason you stay panicked for hours is because you maintain the circuit your thought. We keep these emotions persistent through the catastrophic stories we tell ourselves in the middle of the night. Blaming your feelings for your lack of sleep is exactly like blaming the rain because you did not bring an umbrella. At night, we also fall victim to spotlight. We massively overestimate how much other people notice and care about our appearance, our actions, and our mistakes. We are the center of our own universe, so at 2 a.m., every minor flaw feels catastrophic. But the liberating truth is that everyone else is the center of their own universe too. Too busy worrying about their own performances to remember your minor social misstep. The vast majority of the intense judgment you feel at night is coming exclusively from inside your own head. Chapter 4. The Memory Editor and Cognitive Restructuring. To make matters worse, the memories keeping you awake are not even active. The source explains that your memories are not perfectly recorded documentary. They are far more like Wikipedia pages that anyone can edit, and the primary editor is you. Every single time you recall a memory, you literally change. The act of recalling makes the memory malleable. Your brain fills in gaps, current knowledge, modifies details, and straight up invents things that feel entirely real. You are not remembering the original event. You are simply remembering the last time you remembered it. Instead of trusting this unreliable narrator, you must practice cognitive restructuring. This is a psychological technique that changes how you view a situation without changing the situation itself. Disappointment and panic are often caused by the gap between what you expected to happen and what actually occurred. Reframing does not mean pretending everything is wonderful. It means adjusting your perspective to the situation with absolute accuracy, removing catastrophic thoughts, and focusing on real possibility. Chapter 5. How to short-circuit panic. So, how do you practically shut off this evolutionary alarm and go back to sleep? First, you must understand that fighting the thoughts directly is the worst strategy. Research shows that trying to directly stop rumination actually strengthens the neural pattern. Exactly like telling yourself not to think about a pink elephant. Instead, you must redirect your brain's extraordinary attention resources something else. Use 5-3-1 technique break loop. First, name 5 things you can clearly see to activate your visual cortex. Next, move physically to a different location and spend 3 minutes on a highly absorbing task, such as counting backward from 100 by 7. Finally, take one productive act. Your mind, like water, needs a constructive channel to flow through. Another incredibly powerful tool for the middle of the night is third-person self-talk. Stop using the word I in your internal dialogue. Refer to yourself by your actual name. This subtle linguistic shift creates psychological distance from intense emotion and activates the rational, advising part of your brain instead of the emotional limbic. Finally, build a personalized emotional first aid kit when you are feeling well, not during a crisis. Prepare specific multisensory intervention, physical action like stretching, a sensory element like a scent, and a cognitive mantra to interrupt emotional spirals before they take over your night. You don't have a defective brain. You possess a brilliantly designed survival machine that sometimes misinterprets modern life as an ancestral threat. Your life isn't something that simply happens. It is a collection of experiences and habits that you actively shape. Remember the Stockdale paradox. Maintain unwavering faith you will overcome your challenge while simultaneously facing the brutal fact of your current reality. The next time you wake up in a panic 2 a.m., remember the 90-second rule. Observe physical sensation, count to 90, and let chemical wave pass through your body naturally. Your emotions are merely data, not order. If you found this in-depth analysis of the neuroscience behind your night valuable, please don't forget to subscribe, like video, and leave your thought in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.